This show we bring you the movers and shakers of South Sudan and the world over. We engage in debates and discussions that unearth the stories behind the news. And we have our light moments too by chit-chatting about issues that affect our day-to-day life. Stay right here on the Sundown. Join in and be part of the show on iRadio, your eye on South Sudan. The Sundown, for the news, views, opinion, debates and discussions. Listen to who is who talking about issues that affect our country and continent. Only on the Sundown, your eye on South Sudan.
Hello and welcome to the Sundown Show on iRadio with me, Madrama James. Today is Friday, the 6th of June 2025. This program comes to you Monday to Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. for a comprehensive look at the daily events, the latest information, in-depth analysis, exclusive interviews, and exciting surprises. To be part of the show, call us on 0911-022-986-986 and send for us a text message on 0913-986-986. If you can't access the radio, we are also on Facebook, X, to YouTube, and more. You can stream this broadcast live by logging to that's our website at www.iradio.org. Coming up. The UN Office for Project Service has revealed that the multi-donor trust fund prematurely suspended the Lual Thangyang Bridge project after the 2013 violence following remarks by the Akobo County Commission about its construction.
Persistent, the adverse meteorological conditions characterized by significant wet weather in Jonglei, as well as the fact that the project had to be prematurely suspended by the multi-donor trust fund.
Petro Alina, who is the UNOPS South Sudan country manager, spoke to iRadio in an exclusive interview regarding that matter via WhatsApp application yesterday here in Juba. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs has told the Ministerial Roundtable in Geneva that significant challenges hinders the response to climate-induced disaster in South Sudan.
Significant challenges remain: institutional capacity gaps, a non-operational National Emergency Operation Center, limited financing for disaster risk reduction, and reliance on traditional forecasting methods due to weak technical system are all challenges.
Minister Albino will share with us the details of the Ministerial Roundtable on accelerating finance for disaster resilience. Stay tuned for these stories and more coming to you in today's edition of the Sundown Show with me, Madrama James.
The Basma le Radio Hagiga, I Radio, in Takum fi Junub Sudan.
Meanwhile, in the first hour today, we have the privilege of speaking with Honorable Justin Joseph, chairperson of the Committee on Public Accounts and a key figure in ensuring transparency and accountability in South Sudan public financial management. As the nation grapples with the significant cash shortages in the banks and with efforts by the Ministry of Finance and Planning alongside the Bank of South Sudan to ensure civil servants to open bank accounts for that streamlined salary payments. Additionally, with the upcoming financial year 2025-2026 forecasted amidst rising inflation and weakening that South Sudanese pounds, questions around accountability for that 2024-2025 fiscal management amidst that irregularity on the payment of that civil servant. We shall be centering our discussion into those three areas, and we shall be giving you that opportunity as well to call us on 0911022986 for you to ask my Honorable Minister in the House on those three pressing subject matter right here. Dear listener, please join me in warmly welcoming Honorable Justin Joseph to the iRadio studio for this debate. Honorable, good to have you and welcome.
Thank you very much. I want to thank iRadio for always inviting and welcoming us to discuss pressing issues. And I want to say to our people that Eid Mubarak alaikum.
Now,
Yeah.
same to you. Now, first, Honorable Justin, what do you see as the primary causes of the current cash shortages in South Sudan banking system? Welcome.
Thank you very much. To be honest, the issue of the cash availability is one of the very important element of the monetary and policy and fiscal policy management. When the monetary policy and fiscal policy understand each other, and then this will result into the healthy economy, and then into the availability of the currency, even in the circulation, and then thereafter the liquid will be available. Therefore, there is an issue that now going around between fiscal policy and monetary policy. Of course, fiscal policy is the one to generate resources, which is revenue and revenue part, and then expenditure part. When the fiscal policy is creating wealth to the economy, then the monetary policy here can now manage this wealth based on the policies that they put, and then they can develop the reserve, and then the banking system will have that ability of addressing all the emerging situation that are facing the people. So I think the compliance here coming accountability. Of course, in accountability we have three pillars. We have compliance, and we have performance, and then we have financial statement element of the accountability or auditing assurance. We call it auditing assurance according to the Supreme auditing institutions. So therefore, in regard to the laws that are managing the monetary policy, there is a laws, and there is a regulations, and there is a policies. And then in fiscal policy, there is a Fiscal Public Financial Management and Accountability Act. This is a law. And then there is a policies. And then there is every year there is a appropriation of the finances in regard to the revenue and expenditure. All these laws are there to guide how the fiscal and monetary policies has to work based on compliance. Then now, should there any issues related, for example, into the lack of liquid and so forth, that means there is an issues in related to compliance in regard to the institutions that were mandated, for example, to implement those policies or implement those laws, so that they can generate resources, and then they can spend resources according to the law, and then so that the monetary policy can react positively in related to the availability of the cash.
Well,
Yeah.
you talked of that compliance and at the same time policies.
Yeah.
And South Sudan have all these three pillars that you have mentioned.
Yes.
But the question is, mushkila when gurush makifaya fi dakil suk. Ajadel kulu now fi. Now where is the problem exactly?
Now, to be honest, now we can talk on responsibilities now. There is individual responsibilities in regard to the compliance of the policies or rules of the law of the country, individual as the people of South Sudan. Whether you are in private sector, whether in the public sector, whether you are working in which sector in the government or private sector, there is a responsibility for us to respect the laws in regard to the compliance according to accountability. So now, there is because we in the public accounts, we are working according to the evidence, but there is a lot of talking that due to the mistrust of the people with the banking system, people are banking now in their houses. Now, when this element of the mistrust comes in the economy, in the running of the economy, so now the institutions that are mandated in order to carry the responsibilities on those specific activities supposed now to make sure that they build the bridge and then they erase this mistrust so that the people can trust the banking system, and then the institution can trust the banking system, and then people will take their money, and businesses can take business people can take their money into the banking, and then we can now operate as a normal economy. So this element of mistrust now need to be addressed by the government. And we need to identify where the mistrust come, and then why the people, they don't want to take their money now into the bank. These issues need to be addressed based on the compliance. By the way, based on that, the Public Accounts Committee launched an engagement meetings with the central bank in March, and then out of that engagement, we have realized that there is a lot. The ministry, the central bank, need to work with the Ministry of Finance so that they can harmonize some of the issues that can now normalize the economy.
Well, in this particular show, I've interacted with some of the concerned citizens in this country. Some of their frustrations is, one, you can bank your money, but in case of any emergencies or plan, you want to use that money. At the end of the day, bank will tell you that they don't have cash at hand. That's reason number one. Number two, we have seen some of these commercial banks in the States, their money are taken from Juba, either by plane on a weekly basis. But at the end of the day, those money does not come back to the central bank headquarters. Meaning there is an issue of that money circulation, and at the same time the charges of the bank alone. All those are contributing factors that can frustrate a certain citizens from depositing or trusting a bank. Now, as a person who is in charge of that public accounts, how can citizen trust a bank in such a situation when your own money cannot even help you at the time of need?
Thank you very much. Of course, yearly we have a very important law called Finance Act. This Finance Act is reviewing the tariff and the charges all over all sectors, including the all sectors. So this finance bill now is draft for the fiscal year 2025-2026, and then based on the experience of the previous financial bill act, and then this year the parliamentarians and the committees that are mandated to this will look at how they can now look on those issues. This is number one. Number two, on the issue of the money circulation. To be honest, there is a lot of factors that contributing into the lack of money in the country. Now, if you see, our economy is completely net consumption economy. This is one of the very, very serious element.
For example, it's not consumption, the economy.
Not is net consumption economy. We are just consuming. Okay, we are not diversify our economy so that it will bring for us more sources of them. And the only sector that is bringing a very good hard currency, for example, into the economy is the oil sector. And then now oil sector has a lot of problems. Now, this caused the situation that we are in now. Because, for example, all the other sectors are not contributing hugely if you compare their contribution with the GDP. For example, the oil is taking the bulk of the GDP, and then the other small production, fish, logging, and so on and so forth, is taking a small GDP. It's not fetching hard currency into the country and into the central bank, and this is the main reason now leaving us having this issue, because we are importing net everything need dollar. Yani a lot our needs, all our dollars chase all our needs, and then that is mean the little we have is going outside, because we don't have a production sector that can address our need. This is one of the even in all sectors, even education. Our children are studying outside. Health, people want to go outside. Food, we want to bring our food from outside. Everything from outside. Automatic, the lack of a massive production and then lack of contribution of the rural economy into the economy now create a distort in the whole system of economy. That's why you can see now the fiscal policy is not understanding itself with the monetary policy, and resulted into the lack of the currency. And that's mean now those who are, as I said, those who are now mandated to run the economy of this country, because we are dealing with the first bottom. Public accounts is dealing with what is already done now. But what we can make our advice here is accountability assurance. Those who are mandated to carry the responsibility of the economy, they must adhere into the laws like Public Financial Management and Accountability Act. This act define everything, define how the loans can be managed, define how the expenditures can be done, define how the revenues can be done, define everything, and then comply everybody to do things according to the law.
All right.
Yeah.
Honorable, if you take a look at some of the basic necessities in this country, most of the items are dollarized. You talked of the water, the food, most of those items. Now, you are a lawmaker. What are you doing in this shortest term as possible to make sure that indeed there is a change in the policy? And two, when we talked about the issue of also bank, at the end of the day, you bank your money, but the same bank will lend your money all without leaving for you a reserve that in case of any emergencies or hard time you can withdraw. What are you doing, Honorable?
As I as I tell you, the Public Accounts Committee engaged with the Central Bank because we have received many petitions from citizens in regard to the issues pertaining the lack of currency, and also we are feeling it lack of liquidity. Then we took a step of making an engagement to see really what is the problem. What is the problem that causing lack of liquidity? Now we discovered that there is a lot is not matching. As I tell you, is a lot not matching between the monetary and fiscal policy. The government is responsible for the fiscal policy, and central bank is an independent institution, but also working according to the directives of the government. So therefore now, what is needed now is the Minister of Finance, and the central bank, they need now to work out models of seeing where are the issues that facing bank because of the activities of the government. Because of the activities of the government, then now the bank need to be supported. Need to be supported from the government, so that the bank can have a liquid that now can run the economy. Number one. Number two, central bank, according to the banking act, that we pass, is responsible for many banking and non-banking institution. So now, regulating the public-private partnership act, okay, the law that can manage the PPP, the public-private partnership, in order now for us to use this PPP to jumpstart the economy, so that it can now create the resources, the wealth, and then creation of the wealth. Now it will make the fiscal policy very strong, and then it can fetch the resources into the central bank, and then it will now enhance or nourish the monetary policy. So actually the issue is very big, but in summary, this is in public accounts. We were just summarize it in the terms of compliance. We need the Minister of Finance and the central bank to comply with whatever they have agreed in related to stabilization of the economy in the country.
Briefly, let's also talk about some of the short-term plans the Ministry of Finance and Planning, together with the Bank of South Sudan, where they are encouraging civil servants to open bank accounts to manage this issue. How can someone, or a citizen or civil servant, trust some of these telecommunication companies, because these are foreign companies? And why would Parliament allow such kind of decision to be passed?
I think the Minister of Finance is trying to solve one issue, which is the issue of their big expenditure in Chapter 1. To solve this problem, they need to know the actual volume of the payroll in the public sector. This you will never know it except you do it through the bank and through biometric. So I think Minister of Finance is trying to implement the public financial management reform that the chapter 1 is taking a lot of money, and they want to reform chapter 1, which is salaries and wages, in related to the payrolls. Payrolls is streamlining the payrolls. So the Anti-Money Laundering and Counter-Terrorism Financing Act 2012, there is some section in this law that was enacted by the parliament can also help in related to using the banking system in order to receive the salary. However, you are right in terms of we need even a bill. We need a bill, even a short bill, to be developed precisely to how, for example, this issue of the employees to receive their salaries through the bank can be effective, operational, without any hindrance, and need to be tied by the law, and then so that when an employee received when the salary is out, he can go to any bank that he is banking, whether national bank or foreign bank, and when he go there, he will get actually the money is there. Because there is some situations that even if you go there, you will find that there is no enough liquid in some branches of the banks. This can be tied with the law, and then also can be tied with the law that tightening central bank and finance. Finance cannot issue advance credit, advance credit payment without knowing that there is availability of resources in the accounts of the government, so that it can be distributed into the bank.
Honorable, you said there is need for some of these good policies need to be tied up with the law, and already the Ministry of Finance and Planning, together with the Central Bank, they have taken another step of implementing this order. The Parliament is quiet about it. Why?
Now, I am also I am member of Public Financial Management Oversight Committee. That Oversight Committee, Public Financial Oversight Committee, takes some measures for PFM reform. And then when they resolved some resolution in that high body, in which it comprise the senior government officials and the development partners. So Minister of Finance always gets itself to implement what that body recommended or resolved. I think because of that, they have gone ahead in order to implement some of the resolution. However, you are right, we will demand that all those other resolutions, that kind of resolutions, need also be tightened by what? By bill, that to be brought to Council of Ministers by Minister of Finance, and then to Parliament, in order to see if there is some loopholes, because there are some laws also. Some laws also can help, but if there is some loopholes, then they will bring just a small bill, not big one, just to tidy it, and then, for example, the salaries and wages payment through banking bill, just simple like this, and then they will detail the proceeding of the process. And then it can be adopted in the Parliament, and then it will be a guiding legal framework in order to make the process operational in a very good way.
Shukran jazilan ule mustemena al-kaman barogad bitabi barnamij warina bedabkan fi fiscal budget bita 2024-2025 guruje kalas waridu wa warila na bedab guruze wasul weni stamilu kulu lo estamilo kolo be dafishino taban muwatinin juzu minu mali go muratabat bitomon fi sana alfatu guru zero awen ka barlaman.
Okay. Okay, thank you. It is a good question. Taban, the budget, all is estimates. In our case, South Sudan, we are not adapting the cash budget. Our budget is estimates. The Minister of Finance, through the budget working group, now make operational of the budget, then they estimate the revenue, and then also they put ceiling to the expenditure, and then it will become what? It will become a budget. So now, during the implementation of the budget, if there is no any force majeure, or if there is no any problems, unforeseen problems comes in, you can see the budget can be implemented as it was approved by Parliament. But if there is other things comes in,
what are those things?
Unforeseen things. For example, you have heard that our depots in Port Sudan were bombed by these are the things. And then you can see that, for example, some political elements of the things come in and out and so on, and it can divert it can divert the expenditure. It can divert the expenditure and so on. This, in the government, we are calling it is an unforeseen things.
Okay,
so now, in nutshell, the budgets are estimates. Then now, based on the government activities, or then the money is being what is being spent. For us as a public accounts, I'm talking now mandate of somebody, but for us as a public accounts now, we need the budget of 2024, 2025, the financial statements to be generated. Each and every spending agency must generate the financial statement. When this financial statement generated, then now it will come to us as reports, financial reports. From there, we will have a judgment as public accounts. We'll have a judgment that now, I will have a question now, I approved budget 2024-2025, this in this chapter. For example, wages and salaries. Now, during the implementation, based on this report, the implementation lacking behind on this. Why? This is where we can now ask the OAs or accounting AOs, the accounting officers of those spending agencies. They can to explain to public accounts how this.
Honorable, when do you demand this statement should be generated? When the Parliament is off now for months, and again they are supposed to reopen on Monday. Again, it has been adjourned indefinitely. Very soon we are going into another new financial year. Yet the record of 2024-2025 is untouched.
Yeah, you are right. However, the committees are working. Each and every committee, the chair and some members are working.
When are we expecting the result?
Now, in my case, I'm talking in my case, for example, we are now having a pending engagement with the Minister of Finance to engage on how, for example, we roll out the audit reports in all other sectors, whether loans, whether the budgets that are appropriated and so on, and we are now pending to engage with them. We engage with South Sudan Revenue Authority in seeing what are the challenges and how are they really managing the revenue of the country in regard to what? In regard to the public, in regard to the compliance assurance and so forth. Yes, the plenaries of the parliament are not working, but the committees, the chairs and some committees are working and they are doing some of the activities. Now, coming into the opening of the parliament, the president, I think, already gave an okay for the parliament to be open. So now it is administrative, administrative aspect of managing how the parliament can be open. So maybe the coming week or the other week, the parliament will be open after all the arrangements are done, because president also not need to address the nation. He need to prepare himself, and then the parliament need to prepare itself and so forth, and so that the session will be open officially.
If there is okay already from the president, what are some of those administrative issues that are bigger than what the country is going currently on? Like, we have a lot of issues that are supposed to be tabled, and because of some other administrative issues, internal administrative issues, that can stop the nation from moving forward. What are those issues?
No, I cannot tell you what are those administrative issues.
Thank you.
However, what came to my notice that there is arrangement going on.
All right.
In the both side, in the side of presidency and the parliament, they are arranging so that the parliament can be open.
Thank you. Dear listener, if in case you have just joined us, you're listening to the Sundown show on I Radio with me, Madrama James, and I'm privileged to be joined by Honorable Justin Joseph, Chairperson of the Committee on Public Accounts. And our discussion is focusing on key 3 areas, such as the reason for cash shortages in banks, public financial management, and the status of 2024-2025 financial year. Let's first have our commercial break. When we come back, I will be giving you that chance to ask those good questions.
The Ministry of Health is conducting a commemoration of African Vaccination Week with a new vaccine introduction of pneumonia vaccine, targeting all children aged between 6 to 14 weeks. Take your child to the nearest vaccination center during the African Vaccination Week or Big Catch-up campaign.
Good morning, Mama Alice.
Good morning, Mama Ladu. Where are you coming from this morning?
I had taken Ladu for pneumonia vaccination at the health center to protect my child against pneumonia and meningitis. He was also vaccinated with other routine immunization vaccines at no cost. Is baby Alice already vaccinated?
Yes, she was vaccinated last month. Does she need to be vaccinated again?
Yes, she needs to be vaccinated with at least 3 doses at 6, 10, and 14 weeks to be fully vaccinated, immunized, and protected against pneumonia.
Really? I just heard from afar that there will be a vaccination campaign during the African Vaccination Week, but I was not keen enough to get the details.
You know, pneumonia vaccine is effective in preventing pneumonia and deaths in infants and young children. This vaccine has just been introduced this year, 2025. A lot of children were not vaccinated. Some even travel without being vaccinated. I wouldn't want to see any child get pneumonia.
I didn't know that pneumonia is very serious, that it can cause meningitis and even death.
Yes. Pneumonia is a life-threatening disease caused by bacteria or viruses. The signs are cough, fever, chills, and shortness of breath, which may be accompanied by chest pain when breathing or coughing. Children who survive may experience long-term effects on lung function and increased risk of respiratory conditions like asthma.
Asthma or lung function complication? Oh, That sounds scary. How can I protect my child from this dangerous disease?
The only way for your child to be safe is when your child and all children in your neighborhood are vaccinated with pneumonia vaccine.
I will do that immediately. Where can I take my child for this vaccine? Hope it is not late.
No, you are not late. Pneumonia vaccine and all the other routine vaccines are available at all government health centers in your areas. Tell your neighbors with children between 6 to 14 weeks to be vaccinated.
I'm glad you told me. I will take my child immediately to the nearest health center for pneumonia vaccination.
Bring your child to the nearest health center and protect them from pneumonia and other vaccine-preventable diseases. This message is brought to you by the National Ministry of Health with support from WHO, UNICEF, and South Sudan Women in Medicine.
Itabasma le Radio Hagiga, I Radio, and Takum fi Junub Sudan.
Yes, أنا تكون في جنوب السودان فرصة لك في 09 وايد ولا 2 9 6 9 6 لو عندك سؤال كوش توالي في سؤال عشان كيبو دي فرصة كمان لهونوربل عشان جوابه أسلا بتاعكنا والمكالمة في قطاع راديو. إيمانويل بانادول.
مرحبا. أنت كويس؟
ما بطل قدم سؤال تاكي توالي وسط زمن.
أول أنا بشكر هونوربل في أي راديو الليلة. الليلة دي كويس لدين الإسلامية. أنا دير أسأل هونوربل. أنا جيت جنس ساوث سودان. أنا قاسم فيجا تغروز قال annual budget بتاعنا بيجا خلاص أفرو 2034 to 2035. لكن salary ما في لناس ما في مية أربعة لنا وليه ليش وليه لنينا جمود نينا لسخالين فوجا يلا الدافع the gurus are located to the ministry, the annual budget. The deputy hal the ministry, I know it's Tamil gurus there. Body for the Minister of Finance, wala le Parliament, wala le Munu.
Shukran.
Lanu fi accountability, supposed could be accountability, even someone, and you're supposed to know this kind of using of this money. Yala badide report kelu kun fi asan ke boss later kun fi barlaman tewahi kelu berlena sabab de sunu al barlaman gofulu la de hasade ma fata sabab de kelu berlena
shukran نوادي فرصة لهونوربل عشان كيف يجاوب السؤال بتاعك راديو.
ايوه مدرما جيمس.
ايوه جوزيف.
لا جوزيف من لبنان.
مرحبا.
أنا براح وخرج البتان على جاستن وأنا مرتين بينا باص موضوع حاجة مهم شديد لأن مثلا ده أجر الجاتو أنا جرب كده سؤال كده هم يجيبين ما يعرف مش على مليون.
نعم وستزامن توالي كوش في سؤال.
عندنا صعب هرنبال. لأن هرنبال بتاعنا حال itu marat new budget new year nas parliament bi pass hal budget bi pass kanna bi pass budget de gurta ki ida wala mo bi pass figa sake
naam shukran
go budget ba mo pass lakin gurta ma bi tarapo
shukran
hal mo na parliament pass budget de figa wala de gurta ki bang de second question hal أنا باس ما جيني قالت أفنتدي أنا خبر من مصر بقول لك أفنتدي فعلا أفنتدي جيني ما في
شكرا جزيلا جوزيف من مدينة لبنان قاي راديو.
Yes, مساء الخير.
مساء النور.
Thank you are connected with me.
Welcome Atem.
Thank you very much for the topic. Yes, to add the question direct to the girls at the studio there, I have a question. Had the speech of Minister of Finance announced that let all the public institutions can open the different accounts. So what I want to know from him now, because some of the politicians can say something while they don't have calculation of that thing which they want to do. Here in South Sudan, we have different organized forces. In these organized forces, especially in Bill Farm, there are a lot of what I do call
sorry, Atem, you can go straight to your question here.
Yes, there are a lot of projects there. Yes, in Bill Farm, in police station, in prison, in wildlife, in fire brigade. There are different projects there. So who's going to take care of this project? There are different ghost names there.
Oh.
These ghost names come from where?
Okay, I got you right. Dealing with
That
this,
that is my point.
Thank you.
Also, when they are going to make that one, maybe you are far away from town. When you use transport to go to Kwajuk or to come from Kwajuk to Wow, this money will finish. I will not have enough for transport. This one, I don't think it cannot happen even, by the way.
Sometimes your motorbike or transport fare will cost £150,000 and your salary is 45.
The salary is less than that. Like me, I can receive just only 50,000 a month, and then I cannot get also.
Thank you. Atem.
When I use here to Kwajuk, transport is 50,000.
You see?
Go and come. How much? So
Okay.
This one I see is totally wrong.
Let's give this chance to Honorable who will answer some of your questions. Are you ready?
Madrama James.
Joseph.
Good evening, my brother.
Good evening. How is Munuki?
We are somehow okay.
Welcome. What's your quick question?
You and my regard to Honorable the studio.
Yes.
My brother, there is a statement that if there's no yesterday, there's no today, and there's no tomorrow.
What do you mean?
What I mean, we have the budget which is estimated by the parliament and those who are making it, and it's not being implemented. And we have money which is reported daily basis, and there's no money in that budget. Say that we estimated the budget is there's no cash in the account, and we have money coming from the borders and international airport daily, and the oil was stopped in 2024. And if I'm asking the honorable, those of the public account, where the money goes for, because there's no money in the bank, and money are coming daily. Where that money, which is always a revenue for those students, where they goes for?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking that a good question. Yes. Issues of that oil interruption, it has just happened recently, but all this while money was coming, government was collecting money. So where are this money going? Another quick one. I read you.
Aywa. Ina murta ina suma kalam de abu honorable won su de jain lo ina ma bon su kidina jain lo wo ina bodilo shukran kan kalam da amal bado
kalas honorable kedaru fi simtake barruke
isni William Governor hana bel shukran lo fi kilma ta kaman kida amal bado
ma fi mushkila
okay
shukran William Besderu hijaba shukran itajani wa fi asla bejai hijaba mina ko bisten hay radio fursa besle itnin mukalama yala badaka no bodi fursa le honorable Justin Joseph juzu mina ko masalu asla al muhim khalis ay radio aywa
Mark Moses Medina
Moses marhabeka كيف مدينة ديامبيو
مدينة ديامبيو كويس الحمد لله
سؤالك شنو ل Honorable Justin Joseph
أنا دا أسأل Honorable أن في موضوع برنامج وكل مقبول بدل أكادنا بعمل انتخابات وشكرا
شكرا جزيلا. برلمان بكون مقفول لهذه بعد انتخابات ولا شنو؟ هاي راديو آخر مكالمة.
كيف هاي راديو؟
أيوة ما بطل.
أخبار شنو؟ الو
أيوة
انا دي سؤال بسيط زول كبير.
يا قدم اسم منو واتصل من وين؟
انا متصل من واو. انا جميع مات
مرحبا.
يلا كلام انا قاعد نقول هذا كلام الزول ده اللي كان قاعد يقول ده الحكومه قاعد يشيل شنو؟ طبعا شنو سلري يشيل القروي قاعد يمشي وين؟ نين ما قاعدين نعرف في جنوب السودان.
نعم.
ما نين ما قاعدين نعرف عشان شنو جنوب السودان فوق حاجات كثير واجب بعمله عشان زول ثاني يعرف، لكن حاجات بدوزو حاجات بمشي يعمل بقلب ده تلاقي ناس يمشي بطريقه كويس.
نعم أنا بسأله قروز بتاع جنوب السودان ده عنده قرى بيجا ولا شنو بجواب سؤاله. شكرا خالص يا أخونا مت. هاي راديو.
هلو هاي راديو.
نعم. مساء النور.
الحمد لله قاعد اتكلم في ميدان الشباجر وعفو بتاعه.
مرحبا. تصل من وين؟ قباجو.
باشرني هاي مع موضوع ده انا بدي اكلمك كل سنه بعمل باج يكون
نو معلش صوتك ضعيف خالص. ابدا ما اسمك واتصل من وين؟ سوري؟ مايك؟ معلش الشبكة بطال خالص. أنا ما قاعد بسمع صوتك كويس، لكن فرصة بس لمكالمة يلا بعدك أنا بودي فرصة لهونربل 09 وايد ولا 22 986 986 كر مكالمة. هاي راديو.
الو هاي راديو.
أيوة
مدرما جيمس
سلطان جوزيف من سوكسيتا.
أنا جيت هسه متأخر ده هونربل ده كتير ده منو؟
ده هونربل جاستن
في برلمان الكبير
من برلمان. أنا قاعد بناقش في موضوع بتاع بادجت. طبعا بادجت طلع من 2024 ل 25 وجزء من مواطنين ما لقوا مرتبات.
I got you at that point. Actually مثل جيمس نال هونربل ذات واسده ومن ذات ما داري نفسه برلمان عشان ما صرف قروي.
يتعرف كيف؟
البرلمانيين خلينا نينا الشعب ده كويس. إذا كان البرلمانيين ذات عمل تجاج قال البرلمان المفروض كان يبتوا هو يوم 9 كويس عشان كان الدري ما دفعوا مرتبات بتاعه.
منيا وري لتا قال برلمان ما دار فتح كلام قروش.
أنا ما لقيته في لام
اوكي.
انا كنت في الاعلام فالمشكله يا مدرما جيمس خلينا نكون واضحين جدا. هذا يقول انا ربنا بتاعيهم يا اخوان انتوا معين بتاعنا. اذا انتوا معين بتاعنا ده منو يا بكلم ظلم بتاعنا ده بيتكم. ده سؤال نمره واحد. نمره اثنين اذا كان بجت بتاع 2024 25 واسر الناس تكاليف في لما الرئيس الجديد جاء اللي هو النائب الرئيس الجديد بتاع كلاسة والسي باريات بتاع 24 وتوالي قاعد يرفع قروش بتاع
2025
كويس. وينو قروش بتاع
2024
الريال بتاعنا وينو؟ نمرة 3 بتاعه انتم كبرلمانيين ليه انتوا قاعد تسكتوا؟ انتم ما قاعد تطالبوا الحق بتاع الشعب عشان انتوا ابوينتيز ولا انتم اذا كان انا بجيب لكم في برلمان ده انتم ما قاعد تسكتوا، انتم قاعدين. شكرا جزيلا.
شكرا. Dear listener, with that I would like to say that we have come to the end of the first hour, but for the interest of public, allow me to extend this show for another hour so that Honorable will have that humble opportunity and respond to some of your good questions right here. But for now, let's have the news headlines, and when we come back, Honorable will be tackling some of your question here one by one. Mshawel tuwali fi anawin bitahakbari yala badaklu anerja bodi fursa le Honorable Asan Juabo asla batakun tuwali fi Zat I Radio.
Itabasma le Radio Hagiga.